Hello again, and welcome back to the Drawhunter World Cup edition. I'm your charming host, Kevin Cleary, and this is the only football gambling podcast where, on a normal day, we don't pick any winners. But this is the World Cup. It's special. So we are picking winners and draws for the duration of the tournament, and we are picking winners at a healthy percentage throughout this tournament. We are currently 66 and 36 total at this point, 102 games in. And that includes 16 correct draw picks. And if you do the math there, you will notice in soccer, in football, picking draws correctly are the difference between profitability and losing money. If I had not picked those 16 draws correctly, I would be at 50 and 52 instead of 66 and 36. Something to think about. And also, I picked 16 draws out of 27 draws that occurred in the 102 matches played so far. But now football fans from all over the world are leaving America and returning to their home countries. They've been fattened up on American barbecue and free refills of Coca-Cola, and a lot of them have a strange new addiction to ranch dressing. But we are getting ready for the World Cup final today. Normally in this part of the show at the opening, I talk about, because I'm the draw hunter, and I don't even talk about the games where I think a team will win usually. But for the World Cup, since I'm running down each and every game and making a pick, at this point in my opening, I normally talk about how, 25 to 30% of all the pro games end in a draw, and how running down the games through this kind of perspective is a valuable handicapping tool. Betting on sports is about gathering as much useful information as possible so you can make the correct decision, and we try to provide some of that useful information here and those useful perspectives. If you like what you hear today, please subscribe, give us a like, and leave a nice review for our show. You can do it at Apple, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you have questions or comments, you can email us at drawhunterpodcast@gmail.com. In addition to the game action, there's all sorts of stuff happening with future World Cups right now. FIFA has just announced that they are looking at expanding future World Cup tournaments to 64 teams, since this year's expansion to 48 teams has worked out so well for them. FIFA is currently denying that it's being done to give Italy a chance to get back into the competition, but they do need some help, don't they? Sorry, Italy. Shots fired, catching some strays. Now let's get into the picks. These World Cup games take place July 18th and 19th. That's a Saturday and Sunday. This episode is being recorded on Thursday, the 16th, just so you know. And our first game is France versus England. It is the third place bronze final game. It's always a hard game for a team to play in because they were so close to the final. But this one's being played at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida. France is the favorite here. They're even money. England is plus 250. The draw is plus 300. Ball possession rates, France has had the ball 57% of the time throughout this tournament. England has had it 54% of the time. Both of these teams are very possession-oriented. France control through midfield and transition. England lead the tournament in crosses and rank top 2 in expected goal chance creation. And speaking of goals, France has scored 16 goals in this tournament, and they've allowed 4 scored on them. England has scored 14 goals, and they've conceded 8. Both of these teams dropped into the bronze medal game after semifinal losses. Very hard losses for both of these teams emotionally, I think, also. France just ran into a brick wall with Spain and lost 2-0. England was winning 1-0 until the 85th minute against Argentina. And then Argentina did that thing that they've been doing in this tournament, like they did during the knockout rounds. And they came back and scored 2 goals in the last 8 minutes or so of the game. Harry Kane has scored 6 goals for England. Jude Bellingham has matched that number. Mbappe leads the tournament scoring race for France with 8. France defeated Morocco in the quarterfinal. They lost to Spain in the semi. England had an emotional game defeating Mexico. Then they beat Norway in extra time. They lost 2-1 to Argentina after conceding twice late in the game, in a game that I fully expected to go into extra time or penalty kicks, because I picked that one to be a draw, and they stole that from me, Argentina did. This is a genuinely awkward game to pick. France arrive as the market favorite, largely based on their reputation, their season-long defensive numbers, but their attack went completely silent against Spain's structure. 0 shots on target is a red flag heading into a dead rubber game where motivation is a real question mark. England, meanwhile, lost late and painfully to Argentina, but have scored in every match and have shown that they can be frustrating even when down. Twice rallying from behind this tournament via Bellingham, as a matter of fact. Bronze medal matches are historically volatile. There's squad rotation, emotional letdown, and let's get it over with kind of energy from both benches that make them some of the hardest games of the tournament to read and pick. Note that neither country has fond memories of this fixture slot. England has lost both of its previous third-place matches, while France has won it twice. France really is the better underlying attacking track record for 6 games here, but there's real doubt after that Spain no-show, whereas England was still able to score. But I think we are going to see, and this is a tricky pick, like I said, I think we're going to see a draw in regulation time in 90 minutes. And then I think France will win this game in extra time and or penalty kicks. And that is Saturday's game. On Sunday, it's the game that we've been building up 101 games to this point. Spain versus Argentina in the World Cup 2026 final match. This one's going to be played at MetLife Stadium, New York, New Jersey Stadium, as FIFA likes to call it. It's in East Rutherford, New Jersey, right outside of New York City. You can literally see the Empire State Building from this stadium. Spain is the favorite here. They're plus 140. Argentina is plus 230. The draw is plus 215. Ball possession, well, these two are some of the best at it. Spain has had the ball 64% of the time throughout this tournament. Argentina has had it 61% of the time. Goals for, goals allowed. Spain, 13 goals scored. 1 allowed in this entire tournament. Argentina is 19 scored and 7 allowed. Spain enter this final on what is basically a 37-game unbeaten streak. They're 28 wins, 9 draws, and 0 losses in those last 37 games, their longest ever streak. They last lost to Colombia in March of 2024. Spain has conceded just once this entire tournament, while Argentina have scored a lot of goals, including 8 of them from Messi, and has also assisted on 2 more. Argentina's defense has been considerably shakier. Their biggest defensive flaw has been out wide, especially on the right side, an area that we've seen exploited by both Cape Verde and Switzerland in this tournament. Argentina overturned a 1-0 deficit against 2 late goals, I should say, to beat England 2-1 in that semifinal. And then they also scored 3 goals in the last, 8 minutes of the game before that to come from behind against Switzerland and beat them after being down 2-0. France beat Spain. Spain beat France 2-0 in the other semifinal, with France managing just 2 shots and none on target in the entire game. Spain, they're undefeated. 6 wins and 1 draw. They eliminated Austria, Switzerland. They defeated France in the semifinal. I mean, they are the tournament best defense with only 1 goal conceded in those 7 games. That's insane. But Argentina have 7 consecutive victories. They eliminated Colombia, Brazil. They defeated England 2-1 in the semifinal with 2 late goals coming from behind. They've got the highest scoring attack in the tournament with 19 goals. Spain look like the most complete team left in the tournament. They've got the best defense. They've got the best possession numbers. And they just physically dismantled a France side that many had as the tournament favorite and the tournament winner. Argentina's route has been a little bumpier. There's been multiple extra time and late game comeback wins and a defense, particularly, again, like I said, down that right side, that has been got at repeatedly. But the counter argument for Argentina is exactly that resilience. They keep finding a way. Messi is playing his best World Cup ever, and knockout stage money lines with Messi involved have a way of not respecting him enough, quite frankly. But going up against a team that controls the ball as thoroughly as Spain does removes the transition space Argentina thrives in, which is a real tactical problem for them. This final is the strongest draw candidate, I think, of the remaining World Cup matches. Spain's control and Argentina's ability to absorb pressure make a tightly contested 90 minutes. That said, there are sometimes external factors in a game. Recently here in America, the New York Knicks won the NBA championship, and they had 13 straight victories in the playoffs. And then Donald Trump said, I'm coming to a game to see the Knicks win. And that's the only game that the Knicks lost. Then they won the next game and won the whole thing. About a week ago at the G7, for some reason, President Donald Trump got upset with Spain about something and went on a rant, one of his crazy old man rants, and said that he wanted to cut off all trade with Spain and all this other crazy stuff. And the moment I saw that clip on the news, I turned to my wife and I said, okay, this means Donald Trump is handing Spain the winner's trophy at the World Cup. It's the Trump jinx. It's an external force that cannot be denied. So my pick in this tournament, to win the final World Cup game on Sunday, I say Spain wins in regulation. Normally, I would have picked it to be a draw with all the factors in front of me, but the Trump factor is taking over there, I'm pretty sure. And that is it for the games. Now let's talk about parlays and accumulator bets. This week's Lucy, our weekly house parlay wager, has 2 matches in it because there's 2 games left in the World Cup. We've picked the France-England game to be a draw at plus 300, and we've picked Spain to win at plus 135. So a $1 bet on that 2-leg parlay returns $8.40 according to the payout field in the betting app in front of me right now. That's 8-to-1 odds plus 8.5 almost, and that's pretty good for 2 games like this. And that's our Lucy for this week, and that's it for this special World Cup edition episode. We will return to covering all the games in every league around the world in our next episode. Please stay with us. I'm still your charming host, Kevin Cleary. New episodes drop twice a week. Mondays for all the midweek action. Thursdays, like today, for the weekend slate. Once again, please subscribe. Give us a like, a nice review for our show at Apple, Spotify, Amazon, iHeart, Podbean, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you have any questions or comments, again, email us at Drawhunter podcast at gmail.com. Let me say that again since I stumbled over my words. Drawhunterpodcast at gmail.com. From the entire Drawhunter team, thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed the World Cup. But remember, there's no stopping it. Draws happen, especially at the World Cup. Gambling involves risk. Please gamble responsibly. This show is for informational and entertainment purposes only. No guarantees are made regarding results or financial gain. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. You must be of legal age to participate in gambling activities. Check your local laws and regulations before placing any bets. Lastly, this podcast was made by humans, except no substitutes.